I'm competing with how many thousands or millions of videos.
You've consumed content for a while. You've done this in other things.
Fast-paced editing, keeping people hooked into this story.
I think my brain just works that way with the creativity when it comes to social media.
Timothy Macy and Katie Day here for the REVB podcast. Boo, 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 boo. I'm excited. Woo!
This is a good intro. This is a good intro. So if you don't know, if you're listening, we recorded another one and 5 seconds in, Katie was like, no, I'm going to start it over. And then she started this one just as bad as the first one, but that's okay because it's all about just moving forward. And that's what we're going to do here.
Fun is better than perfect, Tim. I am excited to welcome this week's guest to the pod. His name is Keegan Shivers. Shivers.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
It's Shivers.
Yeah, for jumping on, man. So look, I don't know you. We haven't hung out yet, as you claimed so boldly when we first came on here. So Keegan, give me the story. Like, what's your real estate story?
Yeah, so been around real estate pretty much my whole life. My dad's had a real estate company for the last 20 plus years, and the Nick Shivers team in Portland, Oregon, Portland metro area. Just finished up college basketball this last year, and then really just jumped right into it at the end of March. I've had my license last couple of years and been making a couple sales and just totally jumped into the social media stuff because I see a lot of not great realtor content. And I was like, there's some space to take over here. So just jumped right in and started posting, and where we're at now.
Yeah.
And so you said you just jumped right in and started posting. Like, you're being super humble because you did this and you have garnered quite the following and engagement on your page, right? So how long have you been posting and how many followers do you have on TikTok and Instagram right now?
So I believe it's 40 posts right now on Instagram, and I have 227,000 followers. And then on TikTok, I have 84,000 followers, I believe, and then almost a little over 6,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Tim, are you like, how wild is that?
40.
You posted 40 things.
Yeah.
That got you that type of following.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Tim's posted 4,000 times over the past 20 years of his life, and he has 12 followers. So he's like, that's why he's so dumbfounded right now. But, we talked a little bit about this when we met in person, and I was like, well, where are you going with this? And what are you doing? And I know you're still kind of working through exactly what that looks like. So I kind of want to focus in on like what your framework is for posting. And like, it's a ton of storytelling and you do such a good job at it. So did you have that in mind, or have you figured that out as you've gone along over the past little bit?
Yeah, I figured that out as I kind of went along. At the start, was kind of posting day in the lives. I didn't really know what I wanted to post about. I just knew I wanted to post and wanted people to know what I was doing. That I was starting up in real estate. For people to know what you're doing in real estate, that helps with your sphere. And didn't really expect it to take off to what it's grown to. But I just caught myself watching these other creators kind of storytelling of like their process of building in public. So like bringing people along for the day to day, and whether it be a project or just whatever you're building or working at, really. And I just caught myself watching every single one of those videos, and I was like, why don't I start doing something like that? And it kind of started off with me and my real estate stuff, and then made a phone call, been looking for an investment property, and this one just seemed absolutely perfect. And I was like, this is too good to be true. I have to start doing something with this. And the second reel that I posted with that house, just kind of giving an overview of it, got 3.5 million views. And then from there, every single one since has gotten over 100,000. And then there was one with 9 million as well.
So I have looked at your stuff, just creeped a little bit, mild creeping.
No, that's okay.
One thing I love, we talked about this, Katie, with Pip in his presentation. There are plenty of people that are doing as much as you're doing as far as like flipping a house and, being in real estate, but it's the way you're documenting and how great a job you're doing at telling the story. And your ability to tell a story is what's locking people in. So I have to get the realtor question out of the way, which is, what kind of camera are you using?
My phone.
Beautiful.
Well,
awesome.
So one of the things that I'm recognizing is like you have a ton of clips, right?
Yes.
So like as you're telling the story, it's flipping back and forth from certain things. So like normally it's you like pulling something down or walking through the, garage or showing the view or something that's like a visual hook. And then it's like you're talking and it's like B-roll. And some of it seems like it could be like old and you're reusing some of it, right? But like what audio are you using? Because like I think you have a mic, yeah?
Yes. So I got the DJI like Mini 3 Pro mic or something. It was like $150. So I use that. That for sure has really helped because I was using like a $20 crappy mic before, and like just the difference itself. I think with the quality of the phone that you can use with your phone, like that, I think people like the transparency and the kind of the relatability versus the like cinematic experience of like some crazy
Yeah.
video that we're seeing, unless it's tailored specifically towards that. With these, it's like, okay, you could be like me and I could do this, and just kind of making it feel like they're along for that ride and kind of giving them the vision of what you're doing. And then in those B-roll clips, I do have a drone too, so I throw those in there. I did just crash my drone last week, so it's got a broken.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah,
I love crashing drones. Getting some cool shots. All right,
exactly.
what are you editing on?
CapCut on my phone.
Okay, on your phone, CapCut, $150 mic, and a drone.
Yeah, and $30 tripod.
Fair. Love it. So what I love about your stuff is how well you tell a story and keep attention. So like Katie was saying, quick cuts and everything. And it seems like, I don't know if this is a term, but you're very focused on attention editing. So you're keeping people's attention throughout the story. So you can kind of feel when somebody's about to maybe scroll, right? And you hit them with another clip, and then you're like hanging from a basketball hoop. And then, while you're telling the story to keep people's attention. And what I think is interesting, and I love your take, because it seems like you are kind of looking at what everybody's doing. It's just funny how there's these two different paths. There's the Mr. Beast, different clip every 2 seconds, like fast-paced editing, keeping people hooked into this story. And then there's the complete opposite, right? Where it's like our agents who just talk slower on something. And both work, But tell me how you think about maybe that, if you have any thoughts on that, and then how you approach the editing and the storytelling.
Yeah, so my thought process is I'm competing with how many thousands or millions of videos or posts that are being put out every single day, and what's going to make me different from every single one of those posts. So I think nowadays, I mean, people's attention span, honestly, is not the greatest. So how are you going to capture somebody? Well, that's audio, that's visual hooks, that's changes in settings. It's like somebody has something to look at or listen to so much of the time. That's why I also put the captions and all that stuff on there, so that they're reading, but at the same time there's stuff moving in the background, and then there's like a clip or an overlay picture of what I'm talking about. And there's just so much stuff that they can interact with. That's why they stay engaged, because I mean, everybody talks about your first 3 seconds. I always make a clip before those first 3 seconds so it changes. And so they're like, okay, what's this next part? Instead of 3 seconds of me just talking here to the camera. Yeah, I bought this property for $267,000 and I'm renovating it. Let's go. And then going. And
People are gone, right?
Exactly.
And you have mastered the jump cut, right? So it's like, I'm just creeping on one of your things right now where you're cleaning out the garage, and it's the same shot, and you just skip forward and skip forward and skip forward. And so you show that same shot. I don't know how long you filmed that shot for, but the jump cut that keeps people's attention as well. And so I love that the way you use that. How, like, what makes you think like this? Because I see what you're doing, and not everybody thinks the way you do about creating video and attention.
Yeah, I don't know, like, it's weird. My brain, like, even when I'm just sitting, like, whether I'm be making phone calls or like if I'm at the gym, like I'll think about like ideas for what I could do next. Or like, okay, what kind of edits could I do? What could I put into this? And then I'm thinking of like, okay, what kind of B-roll am I going to want to use later? So I video it now. And my brain, I don't know, it's just like creatively just thinks that way. And like I blew up a different TikTok page back like early in college. And I was like, it was a lot of different stuff, but it wasn't like the real estate stuff. And that's why like once I started up with real estate, I already knew how to use CapCut. And I think my brain just works that way with the creativity when it comes to social media.
Well, and so it sounds like some of what you're saying too is like that you've consumed content for a while, you've done this in other things. And so someone who I think that we talk about a lot with long form content is like Malcolm Lawson, right? And so he has like 5 or 6 different YouTube pages because he knows the formula and he knows what people are looking for, right? Exactly. And so for people that are listening to this, you can obviously check out Keegan's content and like see what he's doing and what's so bingeable about it, really, right? Like, because I find myself like if I see one of your posts, then it's like I'm swiping and watching the last one, even if I've already seen it, right? And I have no interest in buying a property in Oregon, So I think the consumption and then applying the skills that you've already had are super relevant here.
Well, I want to dive into the next challenging part, which I don't know how much you're working on this right now, because this year at REVB, I mean, we looked at it through a very simple framework, which is getting more people to know who you are, getting those people to do business with you. And I think we complicate social media and we complicate marketing a ton. And so that's our way to simplify it. Like, get more people to know who you are, get more people to do business with you. And so it sounds like a lot more people know who you are in the last, how long have you been doing this?
4 or 5 months.
Yeah. So 4 or 5 months. Now you've got a lot of people that know who you are. What are you working on now for like conversion and getting those people to do business with you?
Yeah, so building out those kind of back end funnels. I have a link tree where you can join my team, see what properties I have listed or my team has listed, and just tracking those metrics and trying to funnel people from the DMs, because I've received, I don't even know how many DMs of people that want to work for me, who want to work for free on the house, who just want to be a part of the process. And it's like overwhelming at times. Like, I want you to help, but at the same time, who the heck are you? And I mean, it's been so good for like listing appointments for myself in general. It's like, okay, well, I'll tell you what's the most important part of selling a home? It's getting eyes on your property. Who's going to do that better than me? I mean, I don't know anybody else in Oregon who has 300,000 followers as a realtor.
Now, so we're diving into things. When you're interviewing people, they say never ask a question you don't know the answer to. And I don't really know where you're at or where you're going with this stuff. But what I do know is you built this big audience. And I know for me, I think that the struggle is that you've built this audience on the content you've been doing.
Yep.
And you've got an engaged audience. They're DMing you. You've checked such a important and difficult box to check. Now you're going to start getting listings, and you got to choose what you're going to do with those. So how are you thinking about marketing listings in a way that isn't going to seem like you're selling to your audience and be a turnoff to your audience? Because I know that's another problem, is like, hey, I did all this content to become an agent that everybody knows, and now I'm doing these listing videos where I'm just another real estate agent selling to people. So how are you viewing this?
So wait, Tim, when you said don't ask questions that you know the answer to, do you know the answer to this already?
No, I don't know what he's going to answer. You know what I mean?
Heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my thought process is like, people love stories. And I think for some of the properties that I do, I can tell a story about the property. Like, if I get to the point where it's like, okay, I get to a cool house and it's like, what kind of story does this house tell? How does it compare to the house that I'm working on? And how can I tell a story like this with my property that I'm building right now? So I think kind of connecting the two so that I'm not disrespecting the followers that I have currently, but also gaining new people and bringing them in. And my thought process is right now with it is like, the algorithm likes me a lot right now. It just does. I'm getting over 100,000 views on every single post. I'm getting over 30,000 views on every single story that I post. And I think the stories have been big for me on that. Like, I'll post listings, I'll get people like, what is the link to this? And so I think there's ways to still like flick it in there where it's not like in your face, which has been really good because, like you said, like it's a different pivot. And I also think you grow your following to a certain amount. I mean, like you've seen with different people, you can still always pivot to something else. It might not be as good, but it's still a lot more profound than if you have what I had a couple months ago, which was 1,000 followers.
Well, you brought up what I think the approach is, which is, don't get me wrong, if you've got listings that have a great story, go tell that story. And I think that's definitely, the storytelling is key. And the storytelling is the part that I don't think AI is going to replace. Like, that's where the money is. And then you also said something which I think is where the gold is selling the stories. Like in the stories, not telling the story, but sell in your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories, because that's where people have a lot more leniency on being sold. And then they got that little DM thing right at the bottom, so they can go send you a message. So you grow the audience in the feed, and then we convert in the stories, and that's what. Yeah, I'm excited to see you do more of that.
Yeah, I've been. This week has been crazy. I haven't gotten a video out this week because it's just been a lot of stuff going on. But I think the stories have been where I've gotten the most response from.
Yeah,
and I think
I love it.
What do you think are obviously, like, just posting stories and then having DMs is great, right? Because it's showing the algorithm that like these people are more engaged than the average follower. But as far as like specific things, for your listings or just in general, what do you think are good stories for conversion?
for conversion, Right now, like the main thing I've seen is like the people I know or even acquaintances that I have are like, I'm following along your journey. If I ever need to buy or sell a house, I'm going with you. Like my coach, his mom has like a $2 to $3 million like ranch out in Oregon. She's like, if we ever sell this place, the first person I'm going to is Keegan, because they see what I'm doing every day. And not only that is like, if as a realtor, like if you can see somebody or a real estate agent that was able to buy a property for a very good price and knows how to negotiate for themselves, like I'm showing my skill itself with that, which was, I think, is good for people to see as well.
Yeah, I love that, especially because I mean you're a younger guy, and I know that when you're young in this industry, it's hard to get people to kind of, I don't know if respect's the right word, but I think that's what we kind of worry about. And if you could be out there saying, "Hey, I already bought and flipped this house. I got a good deal. I know what I'm doing," like that's proof over promise, the best way to do it. But I'm Katie, unless you got something, I'm going back. I'm going all the way back.
Back to like Backstreet Boys?
Dude, Backstreet Boys.
Back.
Yes.
All
Which
right.
you did attend, right? You attended the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere with Katie and the rest of the crew?
Yes.
Awesome. You said that when you got in, you kind of looked at what realtors were doing on social media and kind of saw the opening, saw that they weren't, there's not that many agents doing good content. Like, what were you seeing that you think agents were missing?
Oh,
I think they're missing what they think is important versus what the viewer actually thinks is important.
so Tim said that
Let's
he
take
like,
this in.
he doesn't want to ask a question he already knows the answer to. But one thing that Tim absolutely loves is when someone answers exactly what we've said for years. And like, so that's so true, right? Is that so many realtors are posting because they know that other realtors are going to like it and put fire emojis and do all the things, right? And so I guess where do you, where, go
We
ahead.
say all the time, like we post the content we want people to like, not the content that they actually like.
Exactly.
Yeah, but go ahead, Katie. Sorry.
I'm just thinking, and I'm like kind of working on getting my question formulated. But like, I guess my question is like, being younger and just getting into the business, like, how did you know that this would do well, or like in knowing what they would like type thing? Like, how did you know, or did you not know?
Just seeing the proof of concept from other creators doing it, honestly,
Yeah.
is like you see something that works, and there's waves in social media. Like there's trends of people doing certain things. Like I think the new stuff that you do, and seeing that, it's like, okay, that's very specific and niche towards that market, and that's why like people really enjoy, and you get so many shares on so many of those videos, is because people are like, okay, Katie Day, for instance, is the person you go to.
Yeah.
And for this, it's a little more broad, but I mean, there's a reason so many realtors do that now. I mean, you see everybody's jumped on the wave, kind of. And
that was a good wave we started there, Katie.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and so for me, right, like I always am like, okay, I'm loving this, and I have a group of people that we all do the green screen videos, and we're text, that we got how many ever million views over the last 30 days kind of thing. But I'm like, I know that there's going to be a breaking point, right, where it's no longer relevant. And so for you're doing storytelling. I think storytelling will always be relevant, but like, how do you kind of try to predict what to do next, or like always be kind of on the forefront of things? Because like I never want to be the person that's doing the thing that worked in 2019 kind of thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you honestly just have to evaluate like on social media. Like the honest truth is, I was scrolling to try and find ideas, like looking real estate content or content in business. Like, what do people like right now? And holy crap, this guy's gone up 200,000 followers in the last like 8 months, and he's doing something that I think I could do that. So why don't I hop on that train and start doing that? And because the algorithm is going to show you the videos that are performing almost the best.
Yeah.
Because they're going to push that out because they want people to stay on their platform and they want them to stay on the app. So you're going to see the videos that are doing well. And especially if your algorithm is specifically tailored to, like, say we're all in real estate and it's mostly real estate stuff, you're going to get, I'm sure you've seen, like, I mean, what's that one girl's name? Like Real Estate Page. Is that the Utah girl? Like I see her stuff and I'm like, well, that's pretty good stuff. Like I probably wouldn't be able to do that because it seems like she's a whole team working on that. But I still think it's like interesting.
Yeah. So Keegan, one thing we get, which I like your opinion on, is when a video doesn't do well. Right, because we got a lot of agents doing the local news thing. We've given them the playbook, exactly what to do. We try to like direct as much as we can, and they do stuff and it doesn't do well, or they have some listing video they think is going to do well and it doesn't. And then they're like, "Oh man, did I did I not use the right caption? Did I not, maybe I need to work on my SEO. Maybe I need to get a new camera, right? Like they'll think of all these things to solve the problem. But what would you say to those people? Because you're someone, and Katie, don't laugh at me because I'm going to try to come up with a metaphor for this. Like you're someone that's figured out the algorithm, right? And it's like you're the one that you said the algorithm loves me right now. And the algorithm is a fickle bitch, right? The algorithm may hate you tomorrow. And what would you say to that person knowing, being on that side of the fence, having figured out the algorithm? What do you say to that person that hasn't?
I would say look for that next trend that you see coming along. Like it might not be as obvious of once everybody hopped on to doing the news stuff, but it's out there. And the next thing is going to be something like that, but just a different twist on it. And you just have to you kind of got to roll with the punches. Because at some point, like this trend of like the series stuff, like there's a lot of series stuff going on right now where it's like day 1, day 2, day 3. That's going to end where everybody's going to be tired of seeing, oh my gosh, this is the 50th series I've seen since I've scrolled on this app in the last 30 minutes. I don't want to watch another one of those. So I think you can't be discouraged. Like you just have to keep trying until you find one that hits. And it might not. Yeah.
Marketers ruin everything.
Exactly.
Realtors ruin everything. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I guess, what do you think is the traditional thing that rings true? Or you said, what was the other account that you built previous to this? Was it?
That was some motivational random words on background stuff. Yeah. Cringy stuff.
Oh, like one of
What?
the like motivational with like the really dramatic music accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I just took off. I got done working out this morning, and I went to my old baseball camp because I knew it was going on, just to go yell at the kids and fire them up.
Let's go.
I don't know if they got fired up, but one thing, Katie, that I think is going to be the next trend. Here's the idea. I like to put the ideas out into the REVB universe.
Once it happens,
right? Katie says, "Oh God," because she knows it's going to be bad. I think that the Yeti and Bigfoot home tours.
Oh, like AI?
Yeah, the AI Yeti who's going around doing fun stuff. He's going to start touring homes. Now, if you know that theme that's going on, everybody's making these videos, and I think they're hilarious. They're all up in my feed. If you can figure it out, which I'm starting to figure out some of this AI stuff, you got to figure out how like the Bigfoot is your annoying partner in real estate. And so it's you interacting with AI Bigfoot and these ridiculous real estate problems that you guys bump into together. Somebody's going to do it. I think that'd be good.
So I follow a guy who, Tim, I was actually going to DM the other day when you and I were working on some AI video stuff. So he has an account in Houston, and it's a family gym. And so I don't know, you guys may have seen, probably not, because like you don't care about Houston, but like he makes GTA style videos of people going through Houston. And so he's done a whole series of those, right? Of like different, and people are like, do this. And so then he does the things that people are commenting, like the different cities and areas and suburbs of Houston. And then he also has a gorilla that's like vlogging his life in Houston. And I was going to message him to be like, yo, like, how can I do this? Help me. Like, help me with the prompting. Because you were trying to make a story, Tim.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going very well.
What do you mean it's not going? At
first you got there.
But my problem with that, though, Katie, is that I love that guy's stuff is hilarious. But I don't get to know him. I get to know this gorilla, which the gorilla is amazing and it's hilarious. But how do you insert yourself into the story so people get to know you as well? That's where the challenge with the I can't believe we're talking about an AI gorilla, but it's Keegan was talking about the next trends, and to me, next trends is that. So that was my piece, is how do you have the viral video about the gorilla going through Cincinnati talking about all the things, but like have your own brand in there as well?
Man, that's tough. I mean, you could be that's hard, because that's for sure. Like, I mean, you see there's like videos that just go viral randomly, but like if you compare, like I went and looked at like a couple different ones where it's like maybe it was a viral like real estate video, but there was no talking. It was kind of just like one of the funny trends. Like guess how many followers I gained from that 9 point whatever million video?
I don't know how many.
Over 150,000
followers
from one video. And I think because they get to know you in the storytelling, that it converts a lot better to a follower rather than just like a like or a share. It's like they're following for you, not just necessarily being a Bigfoot. That's funny.
Yeah, but Bigfoot is really funny.
Well, and
Bigfoot is really
but
fun.
that's where, like, I think for the faceless home tours, right? Like what Roland and Matt are doing, they're doing long form TikTok, right? Videos, Keegan, and like they aren't in the video, but their voice is in the video for 9 minutes, right? And so
Mhm.
while they may not be building it, so yeah, I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying, Tim, on AI. I just don't know if there's the jump from entertainment to actually selling real estate.
I'm gonna make the jump.
You got to make the video first, bro.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I
That's
better be
also
the first one sent that video.
Oh man.
Keegan's gonna get on a group text and be like, "Why is this? Maybe it's a llama, maybe it's a gorilla showing me a house in Mystic, Connecticut. Like, this is weird."
Hey, you'll probably get views. That's for sure. If you
Yeah.
flick it in there, I mean, it doesn't hurt, honestly.
No, but I do think this AI content, it's going to be an interesting couple months. I think this conversation will probably be much different 6 months from now, as we
Agreed.
see some platforms are going to throttle AI content,
Yeah.
and not push it, and then maybe some will. Like it's going to be an interesting 6 months to keep an eye on. But the more I see the ability of the AI stuff, it's going to happen. Like it makes creation of high quality stuff happen. But I do think your ability to tell personal, real stories that are definitely not AI, I think the value in that is also going to go up as people see more and more AI content. Great personal storytellers that aren't an AI gorilla are also going to get a lot of favoritism as well, because people are going to crave authenticity.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that you will see, and like why. I mean, they talked about how important it is to build a personal brand right now. It's like people want to know that you're not. At some point, it's going to get to the point where there's AI creators, and like they want to know that there's a kind of human perspective to it, because it's going to get to the point. I think that there's going to be so many AI like just profiles itself that if you can have that personal brand already, like set in stone, like people know you for you. I think that's going to be huge.
All right.
Agreed.
Tim agrees. What advice would you give to an agent that is having difficulty telling a good story?
ChatGPT. In all honesty, like I'm like good at talking in front of people, but still like it's
He
hard
talk
to come
good.
up I talk good. It's hard coming up on the spot with something. It's like, yeah, you could be the best storyteller in the world, but if you don't really have it planned out, like I script everything. Like I make sure what I'm saying is what I'm thinking, and I put it down on paper so I can see it, and then I'm able to articulate.
Yeah.
And that's why also it makes it easier when you're going with those quick cuts and stuff. It's like, okay, I can see what I said. I say it and I just keep it flowing, and I can just see the next part. So it's natural and it's smooth and it's still jumping from spot to spot. So people are like, oh, where the heck is he going to go next?
Yeah, I love that style of video you do. And I feel like you have to script it because of the way you're putting it together one right after the other. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Katie, what do you got?
No, I was gonna say that's just really, really good tactical advice. So if people if you didn't take that in, like rewind and take that in, because a lot of times people, we go back and forth and we talk to different people about how they do their videos, and if they do voiceover, if they don't do voiceover, if they do it on the fly or if they do it at home. And it's like, I think in order until you get comfortable, especially, right? So if someone's like not a good storyteller today, like clearly you're doing well with the storytelling thing and you're scripting out your video, right? It will probably get to a point where you're like, oh no, I know exactly how long each of these are and what the clips I have are and what I'm going to say on camera, what's going to be voiceover. But like until then, getting all your thoughts on paper is a really good move in my mind.
Well, if you go back and look at my first videos, it was like I had zero emotion at all making those ones. I was like, I just graduated college, and it still was so bad. But like once you start doing it and you become more comfortable, like that's really all it takes. Is you just have to do and try and just fail, and then one will pop at some point, if as long as you're not absolutely terrible at
I almost heard the formula there. Our YouTube formula, Daryl Eves, I don't want to take credit for it. Somebody else probably wrote this too, but try, fail, analyze, adjust. Try, fail, analyze, adjust. And you tried, it wasn't fantastic, and then it got better. And it got better pretty quickly since you've only put out 40 videos and have amassed this huge following. But I do like the way you talk about ChatGPT, because it sounds like you're leaning on it to enhance the creative thoughts that you have and bring them to fruition.
Yeah.
You're not leaning on it so much to like come up with the idea for you, and I think a lot of people just want to say, oh, what should I make on social media today? And they just want ChatGPT to like be the creative, be the idea, be the execution, be everything. And then it just is flat, but you use it to enhance the story that you want to tell.
Yeah. And honestly, I just throw in like what I want to talk about, like what the idea is for the video. And then I have like a script maker that kind of follows a specific outline as like hook. And then like, so it can place the stuff that I put down into it in a framework that works for the videos.
And so did you just, this is me being a nerd and only about a third of the people on the pod I will
Same
really
way.
care, but like, did you create a custom GPT? Did you just do custom instructions in one conversation, or what did that look like from a technical standpoint?
I did a custom instruction in the projects.
Okay.
So whenever I go back to make a script, go back, put in what I want it to do.
Socials, yeah.
It's already set up.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, I go back and forth on like if it's a custom GPT or if it's in the project. And I like projects better in some way because you can train it more and more and more. And a custom GPT, you just have to like go in and edit. So I like it. I like it a lot. All right. If someone doesn't already follow you, where can they go to be one of your 200-ish thousand-ish subscribers, followers?
Either just Keegan Shivers on TikTok or Keegan Shivers on Instagram. And I think it's Keegan Shivers on YouTube as well. All three platforms, same videos. I should start posting longer stuff on YouTube, but right now, just all three, boom, boom, boom.
So Keegan, we're big, like, you know, the way you tell your story, very transparent, very authentic. And that's kind of the DNA of our group here in our podcast. And so in that spirit of like transparency and everything else, do you know any Backstreet Boys songs?
I do. I knew I wanted that one. Yeah. That was.
Love it. Thanks for being on, man. Well, Katie, did you have something else? Was I rapping?
No, I was just gonna say, what year were you born?
I was born in 2001.
Oh my god.
So what is really crazy is I'm looking up the history of Backstreet Boys.
I thought Keegan, we just got Keegan to sing I Want It That Way. I didn't think you could get a better ending than that, you know? But go ahead, sorry.
All right, no, we'll just cut it. It's fine. I was going to go into the
Listen, the people that are hanging to the end of the episode, they want to hear the discography. So
Millennium. So the tour that's happening right now, the residency that's at the Sphere, is the Millennium 2.0 tour because it's the new album. That's the same album, a re-release plus a few extra tracks. Was released May 18th, 1999. So unfortunately, yeah, it was before his time.
I was wondering why there was so many old heads there.
Whoa. Don't talk about Eric Hatch and Noel like that, man. That's mean. That's mean. Man. You should not talk about Eric and Noel Nielsen like that, bro.
Well, hey, man, we appreciate you being on. And honestly, like we love snagging a story that's very current, that like what you're doing is very current. And it's great that you've hit this traction. But I have a feeling we're probably going to have you back in a little bit here to talk about what the next chapter of this story is, because I feel like it's just getting started.
And I really appreciate you guys having me on. And yeah, I'd love to come back and love talking about this stuff.
All right. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
All right.